Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson and welcome. I am here at the Villages, Florida, a 55 plus retirement community. And as you can see, I'm driving. Don't worry, my eyes are on the road. And I am actually going to the Hurricane Expo here at the Savana Center. Now you may ask what a Hurricane Expo is. I have no idea. That's why I'm going. But as most of you know that have followed along with me, during the summers, I would usually be out of here and I'd be guiding people right now, storm chasing in the Midwest, tornado chasing. And I did this for years and a lot with photography and stuff like that. Maybe I'll shoot a picture up here of one of my images. But all of a sudden I saw this Hurricane Expo here. And of course, with my fascination with storms and weather, I had to go and I figured I'd take you along for the ride. But I also wanted to let you know to make sure you subscribe to this channel, especially going into hurricane season, because when it warrants, when there's something that looks like it's coming to this area as far as hurricanes and storms go, I will put video out, and I will also try to go live if there's something right here or there's any damage. So make sure you subscribe. I'll try to give you a heads up the best I can for the local area. And I think it should be helpful. I did it a couple of times last year and people seem to be like it a lot. And if there's any damage afterwards, I will probably go out and broadcast live right from the car. So I have the cameras and ability to do that. So please subscribe. And as always, like, and I will try to get that information out to you. And just so you know, as we move into hurricane season, this is May 3rd. And it's pretty much, we're getting there towards, towards the end of May, and then into November is hurricane season. And NOAA says that this year to expect a more active season simply because of temperatures and the setup, the weather setup and stuff like that. But you never know. And like I said, I will try to keep you abreast of what's going on here in the Villages. Anyway, next stop is Savana Center. And if you've never been there, it's a really cool area. And yeah, let's go find out what this is all about together. All right, I have actually made it down to the Savana Center, and I'll show you a little bit of the Savana Center, or I guess you'd call it a rec center, but it's a little bit more than that. And as I'm walking up, I'll show you the area is pretty full of people. They have the blood drive going on here. Sumter County, the Amateur Radio Emergency Services. And I actually walked in there for a second just to see what it was like, because I didn't know what kind of equipment I was going to have to bring in with me. And I decided to bring this because hopefully we'll get to talk to a few of the people in there at the different booths, and got some really cool stuff lined up for you. But I'm going to show you the Savana Center right now. We'll just walk in the front door here and check it out. This is the Savana Center right here. And really, really cool area. Check this out. Let me see whether we can open up the... It says, feel free to take a peek. And check this out. All right. So this is the stage area that's in here. If you've never seen it, a lot of good music shows go on here. Actually, all kinds of shows. We're gonna go back out and check out the Hurricane Expo. A lot of the stuff, kind of history stuff about the area. And it's a little bit noisy in here. I'm sticking the camera way up so you can kind of get a bird's eye view of everything. And we're actually going to go over and talk to the people over there at Lenhart about some surge protection stuff. And we'll go in the back and talk to the amateur radio guys maybe, and some other stuff that's in here. But this is kind of a wealth of information. Oh wait, we'll go check this guy out, whatever this is right here. This is Say Hello to Earl. Say hello to Earl. Earl decided to go to a shelter during the storm. So basically this is saying Earl should have been prepared so he wouldn't have had to stay in the shelter. And I think that's part of the being prepared thing, that a lot of people can help you out with this. But we'll go ahead and go around and kind of check out some other things. Obviously, if you're coming in to talk about weather, they say that there's everything in the villages. And one of those things is the Weather Club. And I got kind of a cool guy right here, John. I'll introduce John. I'll let John introduce himself.
Well, hi, I'm John Shuchuk, and I'm the manager of the Weather Club. I started it here in the Villages about 8 years ago because there was no Weather Club. And now there's a lot of people have taken an interest in it. Every time we give a talk, more and more people sign up to come. We're up to about 380 people right now.
Wow. And I'll tell you what, I did go to a meeting. I went to a meeting, and it was packed. It was packed. There was a bunch of people there. So it was really interesting, especially getting into this season right now. Yeah. And so John was, I'll say forecaster,
yes,
right? In the Air Force for 22 years. So I'm sure somehow we crossed paths. We didn't know it.
Probably, most likely. Yes.
But we got to thank him for keeping me safe. I did. And so tell us a little bit about the club, like when it meets and how people can look it up.
Okay, it's Villages Weather Club. It meets once a month at Laurel Manor at 1:30. And we give talks, everything from hurricanes to tornadoes to rainbows and even climate change. And we also give talks outside the Weather Club to other clubs. And we have experts, everything from lightning to people who actually flew into hurricanes. So we have a great variety of talent in the club.
Wow, that's a wealth of information. Now, do you guys have a website?
Yes, we do. And it's right here. And it's.
I'm gonna.
See that?
Well, I'll tell you what. Hang on one second here.
Okay.
We're doing this as we go along. We'll see whether you can see that or not. Anyway, you have a booth here, and you're here most of the day. And I'll tell you what, if you have any inclination, even if you don't, weather's kind of fascinating. You ought to get in touch with the club and go to one of the meetings, because I enjoyed it. It was a great interest. I think you were talking, actually.
I give most of the talks.
Yeah.
We do get guest speakers a lot. I do give
yeah, and I do remember one thing. The guy that was talking up there, now that I know is him, knew what he was talking about.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks a lot, John. And definitely look up the club. Pretty cool. Just got done talking to the Weather Club, and that was really interesting. Really, if you have a time to go check those guys out, there's some great talks that they do about weather, climate, that type of thing. But now, just walking right next door, we're over at Lenhart, which is electrical. And I'll let the man here introduce himself.
Hey,
I'm manager of
Lenhart. I manage the aftermarket services. We do new construction and everything after.
For electrical.
Electrical, yeah.
Right? And we're here. I'm going to get this in the background because we got kind of the generator here. And you guys do what deals with storms?
So anything that do with storms is we do our generators, we do surge protection, we do interlock kits for portable generators, and we're out here to kind of inform the public and keep you guys educated and let you know what options are out there.
Yeah, and we actually started getting into surge protection in depth, I should say.
Yeah, a little bit, about an hour.
Yeah. And the two of us are going to talk later, and we may have some stuff to add on in a bit about surge protection, and maybe have these guys jump in a little bit and talk again about surge protection when I do the upcoming video on surge protection. But you guys can do aftermarket stuff. I mean, after the initial build.
Yeah. So right now the focus is on generators and surge protection, right? Because it's that time of year. Other than that, we do everything else. We do recessed lights, we do outlets, landscape lighting. You dream it up, we can do it for you.
Okay, great. There you go. Just another one of the great things that's here and people to talk to up at the expo. I don't think they're going to have another one this year, probably because the hurricane season's about ready to start. But remember this if you do next year to come back and do this. We're going to venture around and check some other stuff out. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Just when you thought you were leaving, you start talking about something else. And I thought, maybe somebody want to hear about this because I kind of found it fascinating. So we're back again. What you're going to show people right here is...
It's called an interlock kit. So, of course, the best thing to have during storm season is a standby generator, but they tend to get a little pricey. So we do have another option. It's called an interlock kit or a transfer switch, and it's a manual function for a panel. It's a little more cost effective.
And this is something you can install?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're just going to turn around and show it to you right here.
Yep.
So this is it. But explain what it does.
So right here, this is what our interlock kit is. So this takes away any potential for the generator power to meet utility power, which could be bad. So what will happen is as long as this is in this position and the power is onto your home, we can't turn the generator breaker on. So in the event you lose power, excuse me, that was backwards. So right there, I can't take that up. I can't turn the generator on. All is safe. Once you lose power, you turn that off. You run that up. You can crank your generator up, plug it in, turn this breaker on. Now, when you get power restored, you can't accidentally turn that on while you're supplying this with generator power.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The idea of this is you can have one of the little portable generators.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get it at Home Depot or something like that, maybe enough to run your refrigerator or something like that.
Yeah.
But this allows you to use your panel.
Yeah.
And then you plug it in down here.
You plug it in down here. So there's a 30 amp option and there's a 50 amp option. It really depends on how big of a generator you get.
Right.
So if you get a 50 amp, which is usually about 9,000 watts or more, you can get a bigger plug-in. You can run some more things. Typically, what you don't get is your air conditioning unit. A lot of our customers, though, will buy a portable so they can stay cool. And this isn't the greatest representation because it doesn't show all the breakers it controls. Typically, on the other side of this panel is about 30, 40 breakers that you can go through and manually select what you want to turn on.
Right. Okay. That was more than my brain could handle there for a second. But if you want to talk to these guys, I'll get the number on there somewhere. And that was it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. If you're somebody that has a decent sized generator, this would allow you to
power your house or a lot of your outlets, fans, refrigerators.
Right. And I know you're going to ask how much it is, but you're going to have to call these guys because everybody's different. Everybody has a different panel.
Yeah, give us a call. We are running $200 off these packages until June. So if you give us a call next couple months, we'll help you out with that. If you just want to learn a little bit more, I'm happy to talk with you.
There you go. Just thought I'd add one. All right, on to the next one. This is kind of fun. I always like doing these little videos when I meet people that have watched the channel. So this one's definitely interesting. Okay. We're going to try to get us all in here. And I'm going to get you to scooch.
Hard.
That way, just a little bit. Okay, here we go. So I've never done this before. All right, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Victoria, the interpreter. My name is Lori. Fisk. My name is Dan Fisk. So we moved here from Colorado, and I've watched him on YouTube many, many times before we moved here, and we made the decision to come here. We wanted to look around and visit and make sure that we felt just confident and comfortable that we could move here. And so you're one of the reasons I would watch YouTube and make sure that we wanted to move here. And you were right, we love it here. So we're thankful for that. Yes.
That's good. Oh, that's so much fun. That's so much fun. That's great. Well, thank you very much. There's somebody else, but don't blame me. There you go. Thank you so much.
We actually have like over 200 or so deaf people that are here in the villages now.
Well, okay. Hey,
And still growing very quickly.
Is there like a YouTube, or not a Facebook page or way to communicate?
Yeah. There's like the Deaf Villages. It's called the Deaf Villages. So it's in Facebook. It's a Facebook group.
Facebook. Well, there you go. So that's great. Hopefully that information will get out there and get some more people.
Yeah, sure. And we provide interpreters if they need. So yeah, it's great. It's great. They always try to get interpreters here. So.
Thank you. See that? You never know what's going to happen. Now we're going to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, the SPCA, even though I don't have animals anymore. And the SPCA, here's their booth. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Claudia LeBay, and I do the fundraising and public relations, as well as the humane education for Your Humane Society, SPCA, which serves Sumter County, Florida.
And where is that located?
Sumter County, Florida is about an hour north of Orlando.
Where is your...
We're in Lake Panasoffkee.
Oh, okay. And so the big thing is, obviously, you guys do wonders.
Yeah, we
with
try.
animals. Yes.
This May is 42 years we've been serving our community.
Wow, that's really cool. So you're here to kind of help people out with what they could do with their animals, how to prepare for storm, and that kind of stuff?
Hurricane season is upon us, and yet still storms are affecting everybody long before even the official date of June 1st starts it.
Right.
So what we want is especially newcomers to Florida to be aware of how to have a plan in place. And we always tell people, you're not so scared when you're better prepared. We want people to have a plan, not only for evacuation with a basic kit that gives you a template of all the things you might need. We give you literature on how to do a disaster prep. Think about, in Florida, pets are considered property, so you want to have everything in a pet trust too to keep your pets safe. What if they outlive you? COVID woke up a lot of people about that, and they realized that some pet owners passed and they had nothing in plans for their pet's future, with no family, no friends or neighbors, or even an animal shelter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I never really thought of. But let me ask you this: what's the best way for people to get in touch with your organization?
They can reach us at hsspca.org, or they can call our shelter or go to our Facebook page. Our phone number is 352-793-9117, and our Facebook page is by our name, Y-O-U-R, Your Humane Society, SPCA.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure there's a lot of little critters that are thanking you right now, too.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. That was great. So, yeah, you definitely want to take care of your animals and be prepared with them just as much as you want to for yourselves. You know, when there's really, emergency problems and stuff like that, there's a group of people that a lot of them are volunteers that do stuff with radio and communications and stuff. I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. I should know more, but I'm going to let this gentleman right here, let him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Vern Betlock. I am the Sumter SKYWARN coordinator.
All right, and we're going to talk about that in a second, but first we're going to talk about the 3 different booths here really quick, and I'll let you explain. So this one over here, first of all, is...
One in the yellow is the VIllages Amateur Radio Club, and they mainly are doing education and allowing you to take the courses needed to get your amateur radio license.
All right, and then the next booth over here.
Next group is the Sumter County Aries group, which is Amateur Radio Emergency Services, and they will help out in regard to weather events, parades, all kinds of different things in that respect for the community. Then the next
Then we got one last booth right here. Oh, 2 more. We got 2 more.
We have the RACES group, which is the Radio Amateur Civil Emergency Service, which works directly with Sumter County Emergency Management. and they are the ones that man the shelters in regard to hurricanes. And finally, we get to SKYWARN, which is my specialty area. SKYWARN is a group of volunteers that are the eyes and ears on the ground for the National Weather Service. And they are able to go ahead and report local conditions to the National Weather Service to be able to help them better with their forecasts. And the idea is to keep your eyes on the sky so nobody dies.
There you go. Somebody's practiced that statement. Anyway, that was a lot of information. Thank you so much, Vern. Really appreciate that. And I'm sure you'll get a few responses from that. But there's 3 different clubs right there that, 4 different clubs actually, I guess, right? Or not clubs, but entities. Anyway, thanks a lot, Vern. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I'm going to kind of sum this up. There's a lot of people here. And there's one guy that I've heard a lot. And if you listen to the Villages station, you've probably heard him. And I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Well, my name's Dave Towle. I'm from WVLG Radio here in the Villages, and I'm the senior weather forecaster on air Fridays and Saturdays on what we call the Breakfast Club.
Oh.
Yeah, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., but you don't want to get up with me at 3 a.m.
I think I get up anyway at 3 a.m. So anyway, I was going to ask Dave what he thinks of the upcoming season here, when that is, and I think he's got a few statistics he can talk about.
Well, our hurricane season officially begins June the 1st, ends November the 30th. And this year, hurricane seasons is something to deal with, period. But this year we're really concerned because it looks like it might be a hyperactive season. We get forecasts from Colorado State University, Penn State, AccuWeather, National Weather Service, and we also develop our own forecast here in WVLG. Now, some of the callings for the number of storms is just incredible. Colorado State's looking at some 20 storms. They'll be updating their forecast in June and then July and August. And we're looking at Penn State, who has come out with a forecast of a potential 33 storms this year. And what concerns us most is that we had an El Nino season during the winter. We're going into a La Nina, and La Nina favors the development of hurricanes.
Yeah, I mean, you get that the water is getting hot early.
Well, I checked the water's sea surface temperatures this morning. In the Gulf of Mexico, they're already up to 83 degrees, about 4 degrees warmer than normal. In the Caribbean, they're up to the mid to higher 80s. And off of Africa, where these storms first originate, they're now at 87 degrees.
Yeah.
That is late July, August temperatures. And they are the force that creates the hurricane. So,
so this is the Villages channel is really a good, if you haven't listened to it, I've listened to it during the storms when I'm actually driving around out there doing live video broadcasts. And that's why I heard you. And I was going, okay, that guy sounds like he really knows what he's talking about. So anyway, is there when get into storm and stuff like that, do you guys broadcast on which channels?
Well, we broadcast, actually, we have three frequencies, AM 640, FM 102.7, and 104.5. And if a storm is headed in our direction, we're definitely going to be on air. If it's overnight, we'll be there because we want to keep people updated.
Yeah, it's kind of important. Keep abreast of what's going on. All right, you got anything else?
Well, just, we're going to be prepared. We want you to be prepared. So take all the tips you get from everybody, including yourself,
right?
And be ready just in case. It'd be nice to say nothing happened, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So some big things that I always tell people is, if you're going away, a lot of people get out of the heat and go north. Make sure you store some of your patio stuff and all those whirly gigs you got out your driveway that you're not supposed to have, and loose stuff. Pack it away someplace because there's no getting to it when they drop down in here.
No, and you don't, unless you want to donate it to your neighbor.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy.
No, we're not.
All right, thank you so much, Dave. I really appreciate it, and we look forward to hearing you on the radio.
Okay.
Okay, good deal. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
That's a good man to hear from right there. So, and make sure you tune him up when it comes time. I have to say that whole thing was really interesting. I hope you got a little information out of that. And I would imagine there's some place you can look that up on the internet and the people that are in there. But I was leaving and I saw this little rock. I love finding these little rocks kind of parked all over the place. Thought I'd just show you that. That was kind of fun. Anywho, that's really cool. It's fun talking to Dave. Hopefully catch up with him a little more. And, you know, the weather club and the radio clubs and those things around the villages are always great to get involved in. You know, it becomes part of a social life also. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed that. I hope you got something from it. Please subscribe and like. And if you're subscribed, when I go live, and I will be broadcasting live video most likely when I do it. If there's any storms out here or any damage afterwards, so you can kind of get a gist of what's happened. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening. And like I always say, I will either see you down here in the villages or I'll see you back here on YouTube. Thanks a lot and have a great day.